and to be the proud madam of this brothel is just so exciting. Okay, so our next poetry brothel whore is Desdemona Goose, who reveled in fantasy. Wait, let me try it this way. Okay. Who reveled in fantasy about 3 men in a tub in the years before she became the world-famous poetess. Scandalous? Hey, she wasn't always a mother. Here, original pieces featuring the passions of the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and their female companions, the meat, the bread, and the wax. Other professions get attention as well. Rub-a-dub-dub.
I didn't like that stool coming between us. I'm gonna save that bastard, the butcher, for later, so that I can share with you first the sweetness of the baker. He is the most delicious lover of all, and it's not from just what he does, kneading and shaping and making things rise. It's the way he watches, touches, smells, and thinks about his medium. He works the dough in making the bread the way he works me when we're laying in bed. He scales and folds with deliberate action. He prepares a warm place for rest, and he patiently waits. After a time, he approaches with his large, strong hands and lays them carefully over the mound. Stop, wait. Wait. Feel it, he says as he pauses before kneading it. He declares, it's alive. Warm water activates a yeast to life after being dry. Sadly, I have been dry. I, with his warmth, have been coaxed into returning to life. And the baker's moment of pause, that small moment of appreciating a renewed life force before taking any action, that one singular thought, wait, feel it, it's alive, is why I love him so much. He begins to make love to me by noticing first, I am alive. I am a life of my own, as is his bread, and he takes great his responsibility for his part in bringing that life to its fullest potential. He feels lucky to be the baker, and I am lucky to be his lover. And now for the female accompaniment, the bread. It's sort of a recipe, you know. Begin as an ingredient, wheat, raw and unprocessed, perched high on a stalk above the vermin. Never mourn the loss of early seeds spread afar by storm's wind. It will find a fertile place and multiply by and by. Drink in the sun with full gulps on bright mornings. Soak up the rain till it runs like blood. Fill your grain until bursting with abundance. It will be impossible to remove that protective sheath guarding all the tender inside, but he can in time. He will remove it with his hands and his ingenuity. Reaping, grinding. His efforts will be rewarded with nourishment only then. Become a part of him then, sustain him, for that which was scattered far and wide across the plain can be sought and gathered and held and warmed and formed and loved and spread with jam. Eaten. Give it to he who stands in that field and hungers.